Hi, I'm Carla. Welcome to Home-Style&Botanicals. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I clean my artificial silks as well as my artificial greenery in pots that are stationary and the plants cannot be removed. That can be kind of tricky to clean. I want to show you my technique and how I go about keeping my silks and my greenery clean and free of dust. If this is something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button, set your bell to all, give this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned. Here on this channel, artificial silks are an actual thing. I love artificial flowers because, of course, they last longer than live flowers. And although I do have a love for live flowers, of course, my artificial silks last way longer, are low maintenance. They can be kind of pricey. However, the investment is well worth it because you can keep these a lifetime. Now, with that being said, they still do need a little bit of maintenance and caring. So yeah, I try to always make sure that I'm showing my artificial silks or artificial botanicals some love by keeping them clean and free of dust. In order for me to keep my silks clean, I have to, put some tender love and care into them and provide them with the cleanliness and sanitation that they need. All in all, you don't have to worry about losing petals and your flowers dying away, and you don't have to worry about losing your investment because the flowers died. So let me start by showing you some of my favorite pieces in my collection right now. I'll start with some of my very small pieces that I have in the collection. This is one that I sit on my desk at work. I bring it home, but if you can tell and notice, if you don't give it some love and care, this baby will pick up a lot of dust, and then the greenery tends to look really dull. That's one thing that you have to also be careful with artificials, especially artificial greenery that will pick up dust. It'll look really dull, but you have to find a balance because you also don't want it to look too artificial. So you do want to find a fine balance by keeping it free of dust and cleaned. Keeping them clean is very essential to having them look vibrant and where people just won't even notice if this is a real succulent versus an artificial one. So you definitely want to keep them clean and free of dust. So, and this was one, I still have the tag on it. That's so me. But yeah, $1. And this came from the Dollar General, and it makes my desk look really pretty. This is another one of the faux greenery plants that I have on my desk at work. I brought it home to clean, and you would be amazed at what I'm seeing floating around. So definitely need to give it some tender love and care, clean it real good so I can take it back to work and put it on my desk. But I really love this color here, and it just really makes the greenery look pretty and vibrant. So I really do need to give it some tender love and care so they are not looking so dull. And this looks very plasticky, so they are not looking as I hope that makes sense. So they're not looking as artificial. Still have the tag on here, but I don't remember how much I paid for it. And this came from Walmart. Another one of my green plants is this particular piece here. I really love this pot that it came in. So this particular piece came from Target, and it has really lasted me a long time, and that is because I keep it clean and free of dust, and I look at it as a nice investment piece, and it has been long lasting. So you wouldn't even be able to tell that this was not a real plant, especially after I clean it and get the dust off and dry it really well and shine it up. This is a piece that I keep here at home in my spare bedroom, and I really love this piece. What attracted me to this piece was the pot. These pieces again are pieces where they are stationary and they don't come out of the pot, so they can be really tricky to clean. But I really love this pot, and I love this arrangement together. Tulips here on this side, I probably need to spray paint and refresh this part of the pot, but no one can tell the difference with that because it typically tends to kind of like stand on a table in our bedroom, and again, you wouldn't know the difference. But I am going to touch up the white on this pot and clean the tulips as well as the greenery here. But this is one of my favorite pieces here, and $9.99 from Big Lots. So it's been a while. If you all are familiar with Big Lots closed and then they reopened, and I think they're back closed again or maybe reopened again. I'm not sure, but it was only 10 bucks basically, and I really like this piece here. This is another pretty arrangement that I have here at home now. This is one that I will take to work. So this has been at work in my work office, but I've also had this piece at home in my kitchen. So sometimes I will have it in the kitchen and sometimes I will use it as a work plant on my desk. Anytime I have the lighter color petals, and I tend to buy lighter color petals every once in a while, I do need to refresh them. And this particular piece is a piece that is housed here in one of our bathrooms, and it definitely needs some TLC. Now that you've seen a few of my favorite stationary artificial silks, let's get to cleaning them. I start by filling my sink basin with warm water and add dish soap to allow for a nice sudsy water to appear. I also use a multi-purpose sponge like the one seen here to clean around the pots, the petals, and the leaves. Any gentle dish soap or sponge will do. I start by going around the pot with the sponge to clean the pot gently. I never know what's actually on the inside of the pot to make the petals or the leaves adhere to the pot, so I'm very gentle when I am doing this process because I don't want to make any of the adhesive loosen to the point where once the petals and leaves are dry, then you can see where some damage may have occurred because it got too wet or it didn't get dry properly. Notice how I handle the pot in a downward fashion from the cleansing process as well as the rinsing process. And even when I lay it to dry, it's on its side. I never stand it up straight because I want for any of the residual water to fall out of the pot and not just soak down in there, creating a disaster where possibly again some of the material loosens and cause damage to the pot. Now this is one of my favorite pieces in my collection. I remember when I purchased this particular faux plant, I really loved the way that it looked. It was very unique and it reminded me of a Boston fern. I am not sure if this is an actual flower, like a live plant rather, that can be purchased. But if it is and you know what it is, please comment below and let me know what it is, because I really like it. And I've always thought I would like to have a real plant like this to try to keep alive and just add to my live flower collection. Notice how much more green the vibrant looks once the dust has been cleaned away. The green appears very vibrant and very light colored and pretty. I like to give a few shakes and a couple taps to ensure that no water has settled around the rim of the pot. And then I like to fluff the leaves and just to make sure that the stems are still attached and not compromised between the pot and the leaf stems. Thank you so much for stopping by and enjoying this video presentation with me. I really appreciate you. And at this time, I'd like you to give this video a big thumbs up. I'd like you to give me a few comments. And I'd also like for you to subscribe to this channel. Here on this channel, we enjoy presenting cozy rustic vibes that are homestead in nature. We present video content related to botanicals, cast iron, campfires, fire pits, and just overall cozy vibes related to home content and lifestyle. My name is Carla, and my husband is Eric, and we have our little Tankersley pup, where we enjoy making video content for you all.